Hi everyone, I'm Yvonne.
And I'm Enor.
And we are Eveno, and this is our very first video log. Today we're discussing Dr. Satoshi Kanazawa, who is a psychologist at the London School of Economics.
While you might not be familiar with his name, you've probably heard of some of his research papers that have actually been in the news recently. When we first came across him while we were in our second year at the London School of Economics, and he published a paper where he basically linked low IQ with poor health. And from this, he came to the conclusion that amongst all races, black people have the lowest IQ.
He's back in the news again with another paper that he published in Psychology Today. It's titled A Look at the Hard Truths About Human Nature, and he basically concludes that black women are less attractive than non-black women. Why are we interested in this guy? I mean, is he a racist?
And that's the question that was asked, that you could find within all the news stories that were written about his research paper. He's racist based on what he's studying. And, for us, we found that, you shouldn't be too quick, to call someone racist. And at the end of the day, he's an academic. He's doing research. If the research is scientifically backed, surely he should be able to talk about whatever he wants to.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it is academic research. But maybe that's not really our problem. Our issue isn't so much with the content of what he's doing, but rather in the point of it. I mean, at the end of the day, what is the purpose of his research? What is he trying to accomplish? What does it do for humanity? What does it add to the world? I think is the big question.
And I feel what's missing as well, we need to kind of take a step back. Before you can label anyone as a racist, irrespective of their occupation, we need to look at who is he?
Right.
He's a researcher. What else has he studied? What has he looked into? And that's exactly what we did.
And he has just, there's another paper that we were able to find that he published, and it's titled, Are All Women Essentially Prostitutes? And basically what he's doing is comparing women to prostitutes, saying that they're no different because men have to, rather than paying them in cash, buy them dinners and movies and gifts and flowers and chocolates. And essentially he's comparing all women to high-class prostitutes.
I mean, of course, we're insulted.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be? But that isn't even what brings us to the conclusion that he's racist. We're saying that he's racist because if you look into his research, which we did, we looked into the study, there are so many flaws. And to begin with, even just, linking poor health and IQ and sweeping aside, that these people with poor health are limited, they're limited to the kinds of, the access to health that we, take for granted. How can we sweep that aside and look at IQ? There's so many other factors that have to be thought of.
There's too many things that he's not taking into consideration.
Right.
In his other study where he concludes that black women are less attractive than non-black women, he does, however, make the conclusion that black men are more attractive than non-black men. So, I mean, you could somewhat make the argument that maybe he really isn't that racist after all. However, he explains these results through testosterone. He feels that in Africa we have higher levels of testosterone, and for men this works out great for them because more testosterone makes them more masculine, whereas for women more testosterone makes their features more masculine, and that's the reason why we're less attractive. So essentially, out of all of this, what we've got out of his research is that we're prostitutes, we're not that attractive, and we're really not that intelligent either. What does the LSE have to say about this, Eno?
Well, we did take a look at what the LSE said, and I can quote this from them. This is academic research by Dr. Kanazawa based on empirical data and published in a peer-reviewed journal. People may agree or disagree with his findings and are at liberty to voice their opinions at him. The school does not take any institutional view on the work of individual academics.
Wow, empirical? Is he an empirical scientist, really? Several of his critics have actually concluded the complete opposite. They think he's highly unscientific. Some have even called him downright creepy. There are some institutions that have actually gone out and replicated some of his studies and found that he's omitting results. So if those results were actually included, he would not be making the same conclusions.
Right, that's the main point. You know, that's at the end of the day, if you are omitting things from your results that you want us to, you know, take into consideration your background, and you know that you're smart, you're intelligent, you know what you're doing, but then we're meant to push aside the fact that things have been admitted and let's take what you're saying as fact. It's crazy.
It's crazy, and especially if you look at the implications of such research. Think about people who have any biases towards black people, towards women, towards any other specific group. Such research, all it's going to do is reinforce it, which is why we have to be very careful with the extent that we allow academic freedom. I feel like this is kind of the point of everything. We have to be very careful with how much freedom we give to academics.
Right.
We shouldn't be commissioning research. I mean, for example, look at people who think there's certain communities that have smaller penises or bigger penises. If he was to, should we go out and commission research into looking whether penis size has anything to do with anything? I mean, at the end of the day, we need to be doing research that has a point, that is leading towards something, that is good for humanity, that is, at the end of the day, is doing something good for the people. If it's not adding to anything, why do it?
Right, don't waste our time.
Right.
He's an intelligent man. He has resources at hand, being at the London School of Economics, and this is what he puts his time into.
Right.
Stop wasting our time.
Stop wasting our time is exactly what we're saying. You know, use your resources for the good of the world, not for nonsense.
Amen to that.
So that's our first video log. We'll definitely be doing more. Please, if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, anything you'd like us to say, email us.
At askiveno@gmail.com. Ask us anything. We love to talk.
We do.
And we will definitely reply. So thank you for listening.
Follow us, www.iveno.com. Bye.